the gospel of the kingdom to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which makes up the biblical Hebrew Israelites. So with that being said, we're going to start off the lesson like we always do by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants scattered abroad, the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere, your children, shalom. And in today's lesson, we out here as we do week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, coming out here to prophesy, which is the spirit of our Lord and Savior, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahweh Shai, which his names mean in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, he saves or he delivers. The spirit of our Lord is the spirit of prophecy, and that's what the Lord has set up men to do in these times, man, to prophesy to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and ultimately to tell you to repent and to get right with your power while you have time, because ultimately the Lord is about to bring a lot of judgment. You see, and a lot of you Israelites that don't turn back to your power, you're ultimately going to fall victim to a lot of these perils that the Lord is about to bring upon the earth. You see? So we're going to actually get into that, you see, through the Spirit. I'm going to go in Jeremiah chapter 28, right? We're going to start at verse 8, because this is what the men of the Lord have always done, you see. They've always prophesied. You see, they always warned the people of what was going to come before it actually happened, you see. Jeremiah chapter 28, and I'm going to start at verse 8, and it says the prophets, right, which are the men of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, have set up prophets in the world, man. You see, starting out with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone to feed you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians with the truth according to the scriptures, man. You see? So it says the prophets, right, which have been before me and before thee of old, prophesies both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilences, you see. And this is the spirit that the true men of the Lord are going to be coming in. You see, they're not going to be coming in the spirit of telling you what it is that you ultimately want to hear. They're not going to come in the spirit of telling you smooth things and pleasing your wicked flesh and telling you what you want to hear. No, they're going to tell you, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible, warning you of the coming evils that are about to come upon the earth. And as we can see from everything that is ultimately happening in the earth, we know that we're living in those perilous times, man. As it tells you in 2 Timothy 3:1, that in the last days perilous times shall come, man. Right? And we definitely are living in some very hazardous, chaotic times. You see, you got a lot of events that are taking place around the world. You see, you just had an earthquake that just occurred, I believe, in Afghanistan yesterday. It deleted over 1,100, 1,200 people. So I see these are all of the judgments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. These are all of the things that the Lord is bringing in the earth, man. You see, all of these are the signs of the times. You see, because our Lord gave us a rundown, you see, to his disciples over 2,000 years ago. He was telling them basically the warnings and giving them signs of what was basically going to be taking place in the latter days. And we see all of those signs jumping off of the pages, man. All of these things that the Lord warned us about over 2,000 years ago, we're now here in our time, you see, seeing these same exact things happening all around the world, just like the Lord said they would, man. So now we have a more sure word of prophecy, man, because we see everything happening. And that's why it's important for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians to ultimately begin right with the Lord, man. Why you ultimately have time? Because we're running out of the grace period, man. Because soon come, the Lord is about to bring unstoppable amount of judgment to this earth, man. And that's what a lot of these people don't understand is coming, because ultimately they're in a deep sleep for a good majority of our people, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. They have no idea what time and seasons they're in, man. Right? But us hopeful elect brothers and sisters, we're able to measure the times diligently in itself. We're able to know what's about to come before it actually happens, you see? And that's the spirit of the Lord, man. Right? So I'm going to actually go into there, right? And we're going to start in there. This is 2nd Hedges, right? And I'm going to start at chapter 9, right? And I'm going to start at verse 1. It said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, right? And how do you measure the time diligently in itself? You ultimately look at the prophecies and everything in which it is that is happening in the world, and you align it with what the scripture says, you see? And that's how you ultimately are able to measure the times in itself, you see? So it says, and when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, you see? So we're ultimately living in a time and season where Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God, whose true name is Yahweh, which means he exists, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, they're about to visit this world, man. And they're about to visit this world with judgments, man, with plagues, with evils, man. You see, it's not about to be real good very soon, like a lot of these people believe, man. Thinking that America is going to go back to its glory days when everything was just good and everybody was running around being wicked. All of that stuff about to come to an end, man. Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is about to checkmate this earth, man. You see? And for you Israelites that are not ultimately seeking him, you see, you're going to be on the wrong side of his judgment, man. You see? Or you're going to be on the right side, I should say, of being judged, man. And we just pray, hopefully, Abaratazah, that we're the Lord's remnant, that in these times that we know he's soon about to bring upon his earth, that we're deemed worthy to escape them. You see? But this is verse 3. It says, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, man. You see? And you got all of these things happening right now. You see? Like I said, you just had an earthquake that occurred in Afghanistan. It deleted over almost 2,000 people and injured over 4,000. So like I said, and it tells you in Isaiah 29:6 that thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with earthquake, with storms and tempests, and the flame of devouring fire, man. These are all of the things that the Lord is bringing to the earth as it is time. You see? So that just proves furthermore that we are in these times that the scriptures have spoken of. You see? And also it says uproars of people. That's going into all of these different protests that you having going on. You got a protest happening right now, I believe in it's a state you know, it's all due to what Trump's doing. You see, you got veterans protesting, coming up against what this man is doing by deploying the National Guards to D.C. and soon come they're going to be in Chicago, which I already seen the video yesterday. I believe they're already in Chicago. So that just proves to you that we are in those times, man, where things are beginning to speak, man, right? So it says, verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High, right, spake of those things that were from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, you see, because we know that ultimately everything that is ultimately playing out now in our times, it was already written in the beginning, man. You see? And now these things are now just playing out, you see, and we're seeing them play out, just like the Lord said they would, you see? So verse 5, it says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, you see? And that's what a lot of these people don't understand the time and season that we're in, because they're not able to see the prophecies. The Lord have given them a spirit of slumber, the majority of our people. So they don't see that ultimately with everything that is happening in the earth. All of these are indicators that the Lord is about to end this world, which when you go into that word world, it means eon or an age. So we're coming to the end of an eon, or the world that these people currently see and know, which is being ran by the wicked, man. None other than Esau, Edom, the so-called white man who's ruling the earth in wickedness. And the Lord is about to get ready to take this man out. So that's why we see all of these different things happening in the earth with these signs that are manifested. You see? And I'm going to actually go to another precept real quick through the spirit. You know, this is 2nd Hedges, chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 9, getting straight to the point. It says, for Esau, right, which is the so-called white man of the day, you see, who call themselves Caucasians, Europeans. They call themselves everything than what they really are, which are the biblical Edomites. That's who they are. And they are the ones that are in power right now. You see, we're coming to the end of them ruling and being in power, you see? It says, for Esau at the end of the world, and Jacob, right? Talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. And you do have speckled birds, you see, which may look like the heathen nations, but their seed line also goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you may have so-called people that may look white, you see, but they're Israelites, you know? It's not about a skin color thing. It's all about the seed line of their father, where it traces back to, you see? But it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, you see? And we know that this man's world is getting ready to go out by destruction, man. That's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is about to delete Esau's world, his rulership, by a lot of violence and destruction. That's why the Lord said in St. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, to think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, man. That sword represents chaos, destruction, calamities, man. These are the things that the Lord is about to bring upon the earth, man. While everybody running around, partying, worrying about everything that doesn't matter, a good majority of our people, they have no idea what's about to come upon them, man. You see, these people are in the congregation of the dead. You see, just walking around spiritually dead and soon about to be dead physically, man, when the Lord brings these judgments upon them, right? But I'm going to actually go to 2nd Hedges, right, chapter 15, and we're going to start from verse 1, reading that, because these are the times that we're in, you see? And it says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the word. And who's the Lord's people? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You see? It says, the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And that's what the men of the Lord are doing, man. You see, starting off with the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone. They're warning you Israelites, man. We're telling you of what's going to come before it actually happened. Whether you hear for a bear, as the scriptures have said. We're not here to please your feelings. We're not here to tell you what you want to hear. We're not here to make you feel good about your wicked life that you live, man. No, we're here to tell you, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible. Either you're going to repent and get right with the Lord, or you're going to be judged, man. That's what the Lord is bringing, man. You see? Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All of these words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua are faithful and true. You see, it's impossible for the Lord's words to go out void. You see, and I'm going to grab a precept just touching on that, right? I'm going to go to Numbers chapter 23. Bear with me. This is the book of Numbers chapter 23. And I'm going to start at verse 19, you see, because all of these words that the Lord is speaking out of the mouth of his prophets, the servants, these things are going to come to pass, you see, as it tells you in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision, meaning the prophecies, is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, it will surely come, it will not tarry. So all of these things that we're ultimately giving you Israelites and warning you of, you just got to wait a little minute, because these things are going to come to pass, man. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible, you see. But this is Numbers 23 and 19. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good? You see? So like I said, all of these prophecies are going to come to pass, man. The Lord is going to bring these things to fruition. And we are living in those times and seasons now, you know? So I'm going to go to another precept. Just bear with me. This is Isaiah, right? Chapter 55. And I'm going to get straight to the point. Verse 11. And it says, so shall my word. What is the words of the Lord? The prophecies, right? Be that goeth forth out of my mouth, right? The mouthpiece of the Lord is the prophets. Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto the servants, the prophets, which are the men of the Lord. You see? And it says, it shall not return unto me void, you see, meaning empty, because all of these words are going to come to pass at their appointed time, you see? So even though it may look like these things are not going to come to the people in the world because they're not able to see what time season we're in, right? Because the Lord have blinded these people, you see, but we know that these prophecies are going to come, right? And we see them speaking out, right? So it says, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So like I said before, these words will come to pass, man, you know? So we're going to get back to 2nd Hedges 15, and I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. You see, when you go into that word incredulity, it goes into unbelief. And a lot of our people, they don't believe. You see, a good majority of them don't, the 2/3. That's why they scoff. That's why they come under the elder apostles, the elder bishops, comment boards, leaving hate speech, leaving all type of foul messages. You see, just saying all type of wickedness and buggery. That's because these people don't believe, man. But hey, soon to come, everybody's about to believe in the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Whether you believe it or not. And the Lord is about to make these people believe by the judgment that he's about to bring upon the earth, man. The Lord is about to make everybody a believer, man. You see, real soon, right? So I'm going to actually go to a precept on that through the Spirit as well. I'm going to go to Romans, right? This is Romans chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 3. It said, for what if some did not believe, right? Shall that unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Shem Yahushua without a faith? You see? So it doesn't matter if you Israelites don't believe in these prophecies, man. That's not going to stop the Lord from fulfilling it, from bringing it to pass. You see, that's not going to stop World War III from happening just because you don't believe it. That's not going to stop the so-called white man from snatching you Israelites up and throwing you into these concentration camps because you don't believe it's going to happen. These things are going to take place, man. You see? But it says, verse 4, Yahweh forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. You see? So like I said, these words are truthful, man. They're going to come to pass. You see? And they're coming to pass quickly, man. That's why, as it tells you in the scriptures, you Israelites, you need to be seeking the Lord while he may be found. You see? Isaiah 55 and 6, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near, man. You see? Because there's about to come a time in the very near future where you're not going to be able to seek the Lord, man. That's why you want to take these warnings that the men of the Lord are giving you seriously, man. You see, not to be tarrying, not to be playing around, man. You see, because this message that we're speaking is urgent, man. You got to get this thing within you now. Because like I said, we're about to come into a time where, hey, if you don't have this access to these scriptures, then you're going to be dead meat, right? It tells you in Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6, that knowledge and wisdom of the scriptures shall be the stability of thy time. The strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So ultimately, if you don't have this knowledge and wisdom within you, for you Israelites out there, you're not going to be able to make it in these times that are coming, man. When all hell breaks loose, when all things begin to go worse than what you see now. Because a lot of people believe that America is in a bad condition. But a lot of you people haven't seen nothing yet, because the Lord is about to bring way more plagues than what you see happening now in the earth, man. You see, especially to this place, America. You see, Babylon the Great. This place is about to get it the worst. You see? But I'm going to finish reading. This is verse 4. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. You see? So, again, it doesn't matter if you don't believe. If you don't believe these things that we're warning you of, Jake or Eve, that they're going to come, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to face this reality anyway, whether you believe it or not, whether you scoff, whatever you may do. You see, the Lord is still going to bring these things to pass, right? And this is verse 5. It said, behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, I will bring plagues upon the world, you see? And we're already seeing a lot of those plagues begin to happen here in America, man. You see, and plagues don't just got to include everything else that we see happening, which those are plagues as well. But the Lord can plague you in many ways. You see, why you think you got a lot of these people here in America can barely make ends meet? A lot of people can barely afford groceries. A lot of people can barely, get a job. A lot of people on TikTok, mainly these women, crying their eyes out about not having anywhere to sleep and nowhere to go, and men not wanting to take care of them. These are all the plagues of the Lord, man. What did the Lord say in 2 Hedges chapter 8, verse 50? For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, which is that time that we're in now, that dwelt in the world, because they have walked in great pride, man. That's why you're seeing a lot of these people complain and crying and not knowing what to do, man, bugging out, you see, and losing hope, man, because ultimately they have been proud, and the Lord has taken away all of these benefits by plaguing this place, America, economically, and these people are suffering. But those are only the beginning of the greater evils that the Lord is ultimately about to bring upon this land and the earth, you see? But I'm going to finish reading it. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, man, you see? So Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is about to bring all of these things, man, you see, to the earth. They're already happening in certain areas, but like I said, they're going to increase. Things are going to get worse than what you see now, man. Everything that we see ultimately occurring in the world is only the beginning of greater evils and chaos that's about to come to this land and the earth, you see? But I'm going to read verse 6, because it tells you why the reason the Lord is going to bring these evils, right? For wickedness, right, have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. You see, wickedness, sin upon sin, man. People love, engaging in dark activities, man. Especially the 2/3 of our own people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. You love indulging in wickedness. You love doing things that goes against the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Our people love doing that, man. But hey, that's about to be the reason why the Lord is about to bring this great judgment to the earth, man. Because of all of the wickedness that is occurring. You see, this was the same thing that was happening during the time of Noah. You see, our forefather, before the Lord brought the flood. And this place that we see here in America, this place is pre-flood behavior, which we know the Lord is not going to bring a flood again, but he's going to destroy this place by fire. But you could just see the behavior of the people, how they conduct themselves and how they live their lives, that this is the same generation of old back, man. And the Lord is about to judge these people again. You see? So I'm going to actually go to that precept through the Spirit. Bear with me. This is Genesis chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 5 again, straight to the point. It says, and Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man and woman, right, was great in the earth. You see, just like it is now, man. You see, everything that they celebrate and promote here in this place, America, Babylon the Great, is wickedness, man. It goes completely against Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. You see, they promote that a man can be a woman. They promote that women can be men. Everything in this country is backwards, man. You see, and that's because you have a devil that's in power. But that's why the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. You see, from off of the face of the earth. All right, so I'm going to finish reading it. It says, and that every imaginations of the thoughts of his or her heart, meaning their minds, right? The Hebrew, it means law, was only evil continually, you see? And that's what these people here in America is only thinking about. Each day that goes by, that's all they're thinking about, you see? These people wake up in the morning thinking about evil, man. That's all that's on their mind. How they can get away with committing adultery. How they can get away with being, moles and everything else that they ultimately indulge in. That's all these people think about, man. How they can steal from this person. How they can harm that person. You see, this is what the majority of our people mindset is on, man. And that's why the Lord is about to destroy you. You see? So I'm going to actually get back to the precept where I left off at. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 7. Therefore saith the Lord, Yahweh. Verse 8, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, you see, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves, you see. Because like I said, our people commit iniquity like it's going out of style, like it's a sport. You would thought that Jake and Eve get paid to be wicked, how much they indulge in it, man. But as it tells you right here, I'm going to grab that precept. This is Jeremiah, right? Chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 22. Getting straight to the point, because this is our people. These are their mindsets, you see. It says, for my people, right? We already discussed who's the Lord's people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. You see who makes up the biblical Hebrew Israelites. So with that being said, it says, for my people is foolish, right? They have not known me, and that's because our people don't want to know the Lord. You see, like I said, they love walking after the ways of their own thoughts, you see? Walking after the ways in which it is that is pleasing unto their wicked flesh. That's what they want to satisfy, their own carnal desires. They don't want to know their power, man. They don't want to repent, you see? But it says, and they are sottish children. Sottish meaning stupid, man, you see? And it says, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil. You see, Jake wise to go off, man. You see, Jake wise to do things that goes against the Heavenly Father and His Son. You see, but to do the right thing, you see, which is to repent, which is to turn back sorrowful and remorseful for your wrongful thoughts, sayings, and doings in this life as well as your former lives. Jake don't want to do that, man. You see, our people have a hard time doing these things. You see, and that's because they love darkness rather than light, man. But as it tells you in Isaiah 5:20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And that's what our people does, man. You see, because they ultimately exalt wickedness and evil, but goodness, they put it on a low ride. You see, they shun it. You see, they look down upon it. You see, that's because our people are wicked, man. A good majority of them. You see, but I'm gonna get back into this precept. It says, behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually, man. You see, and that's the spirit that the elect are in, the nation of Israel, the 1/3. They're in that spirit of constantly sighing and crying to the Lord, man. You see, begging the Lord to ultimately to avenge them and to bring judgment upon this wicked earth, man. You see, just like our forefather Lot was during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, he ultimately had to deal with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. You see, having to deal with people walking around doing things that wasn't right, man. You see, people that just love engaging in wicked desires and manners of life. You see, that is vexing unto the Lord's elect, because we crave ultimately for righteousness, man. We want to see the new heaven and the new earth established, man. You see, we want to see a righteous kingdom where our Lord Yahushua is ruling, King David, the 12 and the 144,000. That's the mindset of the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. But like I said, the 2/3 of our people, they love it in this place, man. That's why they don't get vexed with all of the wickedness that they see happening around them. That's why they don't ultimately, get offended with everything that they see. That's why they're okay with all of the wickedness. That's why they're okay with men trying to be like women. You see, they're okay with women trying to be like men, women exalting themselves, and everything in this country is just wicked, man. You see? But that's why this place is about to go, So I'm going to actually go to this precept as well through the Spirit, because like I said, when the Lord sends out these judgments, He's only going to have mercy upon those that are sighing and crying. You see, if you're not sighing and crying for all of the abominations that's being done in this land, then the Lord is going to judge you, man. That just is what it is. You see, because only the elect are going to be in that spirit, you see. Because everybody else, like I said, the 2/3 of our people, they love this place. This place doesn't offend them. You see, they delight living in America, man. They love waking up knowing they finna go to a job and not make nothing. You see, this is what they love. You see, but the elect, we're tired of this place, man. You see, and we're ready for the Lord to judge this place, and Abaratazah, we be at that number to deliver us. You see, but I'm gonna grab this precept real quick through the Spirit. This is Ezekiel chapter 9. And I'm going to start at verse 3, right? And the glory of the power of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house, and he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side, which was a death angel, you see? Verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which is a people before it's a place, right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. and set a mark, right? And that word mark is different than the mark that you hear about in Revelation 13 to 16. That's the charagma. This mark is talking about in the Hebrew, which means the wa, which means to be exempt from the judgment and the perils that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to bring. This is the mark that's going to be upon the Lord's elect, which we pray and hope that we're a part of that number, that we be sealed with this mark, you see, to escape the coming judgments that we know the Lord is about to bring, you know? So it says, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men, right? That sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, you see? And only the elect is in that spirit of crying, man. You see, sighing and crying to the Lord, man. You know, begging for a change, begging for something new to come, man. You see? It says, verse 5, and to the others he said, in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. And this is what's coming to America, man. The Lord is going to send out all of these various plagues that I went into earlier. The sword, the famine, you see all type of other different judgments that he has in store, the sword. And he's going to just allow these things to unleash through this place, America. And if you're not ultimately sealed with that dawah, you see, which means to be exempt from the judgment, then guess what? You're going to fall victim to a lot of these evils that are coming. You see? But it says, smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. You see, verse 6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. You see, the Lord is no respect to persons, man, as it tells you in Romans 2 and 11. So you know, for you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American men and women and your children, if you're not seeking the Lord and trying to make your calling and election sure by returning back to your power and doing what it is that is pleasing unto him to the best of your abilities, then hey, you're going to ultimately get caught up in these judgments, man, when they begin to get brought forth on a wider scale. Because everything, like I said before, we see happening now is only the beginning of greater chaos that's to come and plague this earth, man. You see? It's only going to get worse. All right, so I'm going to finish reading it. And this is finishing off at verse 6. It says, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house, you see? And we know that's going into 1 Peter 4 and 17. You see, that judgment must begin at the house of Israel, which is talking about the men that know that they're Israelites, you see, that are wicked, that are not right, that are not of the Lord's elect, you see? But I'm going to get back into this scripture where I left off at, 2nd Hedges, chapter 15, and I'm going to read verse 9, right? And it says, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Right? Verse 10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And this is not talking about ancient Egypt. This is talking about modern Egypt, which is this place, America, Babylon the Great, spiritually Sodom and Egypt, right? Verse 11, but I will bring them with the mighty hand and the stretched out arm. This is the Lord talking about the elect. And smite Egypt, right, America, with plagues as before, and would destroy all the land thereof, you see? And we know ultimately that's what the Lord is going to do to this place, America. You see, he's going to destroy this whole landmass, man, by thermonuclear missiles and laser beams of the chariots. That's what's ultimately going to eradicate this entire America as these people know it. This place is going to be over with soon come. You see? But it says, verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, talking about you Babylonians, you Americans. You see? And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall bring upon it. So like I said before, man, these times and seasons that we're ultimately in, you see, you already got a lot of people that are complaining, you see, and bugging out and losing their mind and not knowing what to do because of all of the things they see happening. But hey, things are only going to get worse, man. You see, so how much more in the times that we know that are coming when things really begins to amplify and intensify in this place? You're going to have people losing their minds, man, especially with everything you got Donald Trump doing, Nero, you see, because now we're in that time and season where those tariffs that he put on those countries earlier on in the year when he first got in office, now they're beginning to take effect. So now you're about to have more people sign. You're about to have more people crying and in a state of misery and derision. You see, because now the Lord is about to allow everything to fully set in. You see, because we are coming into those times of chaos, man. You see, where things are really about to unfold. You see? But I'm going to read. This verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fall through the blasting and hail and with the fearful constellation, you see? And when you go into that, that's talking about a famine, man. And that's what's going to happen here soon in America, Babylon the Great. You're going to have food shortages, you see? Those are the plagues that the Lord is going to bring upon this place, man, to bring judgment, you see? And I'm going to actually go to a precept on that, right? We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, then said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind cannot be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. And we know that Moses and Samuel was two beloved men in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But that just goes to show you how wicked our people are, the 2/3 of them, man. That even if Samuel and Moses stood up for them, guess what? The Lord still wouldn't, regard them, man. You see, he still wouldn't have any pity upon Jake, man. You see? But this is verse 2. It said, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such are for the sword to the sword, and such are for the famine to the famine, and such are for the captivity to the captivity. You see? And like I said, the Lord has everybody already predestined in their lots of what they're going to ultimately perish by, man. You see? That's why it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. You see, because the Lord has everybody's story already written out. The Lord already know how you're going to lead this place, man. Whether it's going to be by famine, whether it's going to be by being snatched up and thrown into these concentration centers and being tortured, man. Whatever the Lord ultimately may bring. You see, we know the Lord is going to be with his elect in these times. But for you 2/3, man, who the Lord is going to bring these miseries mainly upon, and you heathens. You see, these are the things that are coming. All right? So I'm going to finish reading verse 3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, you see, saith the Lord. The sword to slay, right? And the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy, man. And these are the things that the Lord is about to bring on a wider scale here to this place, America, man. You see, and we know that these things are created for the wicked. You see, that's why the Lord is about to bring these things upon these people, right? I'm going to go to Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus. I'm going to go to chapter 40. All right. Bear with me. I'm going to start at verse 8. And it says, such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is 7-fold more upon sinners. You see? Verse 9. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, right? Calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. Verse 10. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. So that's ultimately why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is about to bring all of these things to this place, America, and the world in these times. He's going to bring all of these different pestilences and different types of perils and, judgments that he's going to bring forth because of the wickedness of the people, man. You see, that's why the Lord is about to allow these things to unleash, right? And we are in that time and season, right? So I'm going to get back to here. This is 2nd Hedges, chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 14, right, through the Spirit. And it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. We already know what that word woe means. It goes into destruction. Because a lot of these people, they believe that the Lord is bringing good times to the earth. You see, a lot of these Babylonians and the majority of our people, they're believing in what Esau, Edom, and the government is telling them. That, they're going to make the American economy better. Things is going to get back normal in the very near future. You just got to let Trump work and all of this other different type of madness. That's what a lot of these people minds believe, not knowing that the Lord ain't bringing no peace. You see, the Lord is about to bring danger, man. You see, and if you're not ultimately on the side of the Lord, you're not of his remnant, then he's going to bring that judgment upon you, man, for you Israelites out there. Because we already see from everything that Trump is doing that we are getting ready to come into the time of Jacob's trouble. And basically it's already here, honestly. It just hasn't reached that intensity level to the point that the Lord is going to get it to, you see. But it is getting there, man. You see, because Donald Trump basically just sent the National Guard to Chicago. You see, and I'm not sure if they're already, out there on the streets and things of that nature, but I know I watched the video to where you had the National Guard trucks, outside the city and things like that, you see? And ultimately, you got the mayor of Chicago. He's basically against Trump and what he's doing, basically, saying that he doesn't want the guards to come in there and the police the people and all of this different type of stuff. So everything that we see in this country happening is all divided, man. This whole place is just, you see, divided from within and without, man. You see, inside and out. And that's how we know the Lord is about to bring an end to this place, man. This place is ran its course, you see? And I'm actually go to that touching on Jacob's trouble, man. Because, that's what's coming, man. Why you think this devil is putting all of these military troops into place, man? You see? And the main place that he's locationing them and putting them in is where you Jakes are, man. You see, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. He's not putting these National Guard soldiers in the communities where you got Esau and these other nations at. They're not marching through their cities and places where they're residing and where they people live. No, they're sending them right down there to the barrios and the ghettos and in the slums where a lot of you Israelites are, man. You see, that's where they're going to, because ultimately we're about to come into this time where the Lord is about to unleash his sword upon the wicked 2/3 of you Jakes, man, that do not want to seek your power, that do not want to turn away from your wicked ways. The Lord is about to unleash this so-called white man upon you, man, right? These are the times that we're in, right? So I'm actually go to that real quick through the Spirit. Bear with me. Because this is what the Lord is bringing, man. You see? And that's why we constantly go over these same different accounts week in and week out through the Spirit, man. Because these are the times that are upon us. These are the things that are coming, man. You see? These are the prophecies that are speaking loud and clear, right? So this is Isaiah chapter 10, right? And I'm going to start at verse 5. Just straight to the point, you see. It says, "Oh, Assyrian," the modern day Assyrian, talking about none other than Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you see. It says, "The rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation," you see, because we know that ultimately Esau, Edom is the sword of the Heavenly Father on the left-hand side. It tells you that in Psalms chapter 17, verse 13, King David said that, "Arise, O Lord, and disappoint him, and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword," man. That's talking about none other than the so-called white man. So the Lord is about to use his sword, you see, in these times that we are in, ultimately to inflict and to bring judgment upon the rebellious 2/3 of his own people, man. That's what the Lord is about to do, and we are in that time of season, man. That's why you're only going to continue to see things heat up from here on out, right? Especially with these National Guards that are being deployed to these cities. Because we know soon come, they're going to be all over America, man. They're not just going to be in Washington, D.C. and Chicago and just other little small sanctuary cities where people think they're going to reside in. No, they're going to be everywhere, man. This is what's coming to America, man. You know? So it says, verse 6, and it says, "I will send him against a hypocritical nation," you see? And who is that hypocritical nation? That's talking about you Israelites, you 2/3 of our people, man. You're hypocrites because in your minds and in your mouths, you say that you love the Lord, you see? But when you look at the way that you conduct your lives and how you live your lives and the things that you do in your day-to-day, it goes against what the Lord wants you to actually do. The Lord said, if you love him, keep his commandments, man. Which we know ultimately the commandments are not going to get us delivered, but still you're supposed to rehearse the righteous acts to the best of your abilities. And our people don't want to do that, man. You see, here it is. You got Big Shirley and all of the other women. They go to church every Sunday in them harlot houses claiming that they love the Lord. But when you look at these people's lives, man, these people are wicked. You see, a lot of them are eating pork. A lot of them eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. A lot of them, they don't do nothing that the Lord tells them to do, man. But yet again, they say they love the Lord. So our people are complete hypocrites, man, the 2/3 of them. You see, and this is who the Lord is about to send his sword upon. You 2/3 Jakes, man, right? Now my friend is reading. It said, "I will send him against a hypocritical nation and against the people of my wrath." You see, will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets? And how is Esau going to tread you down like the mire of the streets? He's going to do that with his military, man, with these National Guard soldiers, with these Gurga troops, with these, United Nations soldiers and all of these different foreign soldiers that came across the southern border during the 4 years of Joe Biden. Because you got to remember that they're still in here in America, man. You see, and a lot of those men that came across those borders were military-aged men. And a lot of them, Esau is going to unleash upon a lot of you Israelites in these times of Jacob's trouble. You see? So I'm going to actually go to that precept because in 2nd Hedges 16, it tells you that, right? That they should be like madman, sparing none. And that's going to be Esau, man, right? So I'm going to go to that real quick through the Spirit. This is 2nd Hedges chapter 16. And I'm going to start at verse... We're going to start at verse 8 and we're just going to move around in the Spirit. But it says, "The mighty Lord, Yahweh, will send the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?" The answer to that is nobody, man, because we are in the time of judgment, and the Lord is the one that's bringing forth these evils. You see, nobody is going to stop ultimately what the Lord is bringing. That's why ultimately the only way you're going to make it through these times for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, the Lord has to have mercy upon you. You have to be of his elect. You see, that's the only way you're going to make it through these times to come. You're not going to be able to make it through these times leaning unto your own understanding, going off of what you think, what you believe, all of that different stuff that our people are in the minds of doing. That's not going to save you. Stocking up on food and having guns and all of this different type of stuff that Jake does, that's not going to get you through, man. Only thing that's going to get you through these times is if the Lord has his mercy upon you, man. You see, that's it and that's all, man. All right? But this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? You see, and this is what the prophet Esdras seen, man. You see, he's seen all hell breaking loose out here in the streets of Babylon and Great America. He's seen the time of famine, man. People out here starving out, not eating food, resorting to cannibalizing each other. He's seen all of these things happening. And this is all the same things that the men of the Lord coming back now in the reincarnation are warning you Israelites of what's to come. These same exact things that the men of old seen, right? That are coming and manifesting and that are going to happen in these times that we're in now, right? So it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? You see? And he's basically saying that because, like I said, he saw how bad it was out here, man. You see? The only way you're ultimately going to make it through these times, like I said, is through Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. You see? Because that's just how chaotic it's going to be out here, man. The scriptures tells us it's going to be a time like no other, right? Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time never shall be, man. Right? Verse 22 tells you how, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, man. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. That's just an indicator of how bad it's about to truly be out here, man. You see, you're going to need Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua for you Israelites out there. You see, you're not going to make it through this time on your own. You're not going to be able to put your trust in the government and thinking they're going to get you through it. No, if you don't got the Lord, you're not going to make it, man. Simple and plain, right? So I'm going to read it. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famines, you see, and great death, right? Because a lot of people are about to perish, man. That's what a lot of these people don't understand, you know? They're thinking that everything, if they know it, is just going to continue to keep going forever. You see that America is going to continue to keep booming and they're going to continue to walk around being wicked every day. That's about to come to an end, man, for you people. You see, what's coming is a lot of death and destruction, you see? And it says the beginning of wars, right? Race wars, class wars, civil wars, gender wars. You see, civil unrest. These are the things that are about to magnify and happen here in America soon come, man. You see? And everything that Donald Trump is doing, you see, is going to lead this place in that direction. You see, all of the unrighteous decrees that he's putting in place, the big, beautiful bill that he just signed, which is basically about to snatch all of the government assistance and all of those different things from a lot of these Babylonians. You see? So, hey, people are already getting laid off left to right, not being able to, you know, provide for their families and things like that. You see, due to everything that's happening in this economy, due to them closing down the jobs and the businesses, due to the hyperinflation that's going on. So we know that there's going to be a lot of chaos soon come in this country, man. Because as they say in the world, when a person has nothing to lose, they lose it. And a lot of these Americans is starting to realize and understand that the whole American dream that they believed in was a lie. You see, and we told you people, mainly you Israelites, that all of this stuff was a lie. We told you that this wasn't your rest. But hey, you people didn't want to listen to the men of the Lord. So now you people about to suffer, man. You see, and we don't feel bad for you. You see? But it says, verse 18 again from the top, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famines and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, right, which that word evils in the Hebrew means rayam, which are bad times. We are in the beginning of bad times that are to come, man. You see, and if you can't see it, then ultimately the Lord is not dealing with you, man, because the writing is on the wall. Only thing you got to do is look around at everything that's happening around the world, literally. And you can see that, oh, man, we're in some very bad times, you see? But like I said, everybody doesn't have that understanding because the Lord is not giving that to everybody to see and to know what times they're in, man. You see, that's why when these things do come, it's going to come upon a lot of these people unawares because the Lord ain't dealing with them. They don't have the spirit, you see? Talking about the 2/3 of Israel, man, right? But it says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And what is the hopeful elect going to do in these times? We're going to put our trust in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. He's going to be our defense. He's going to be our place of refuge. You see, because we know that only he can get us through these times. We're going to put all our trust in the Lord. We're going to give it over to him. What does it say in Proverbs 3 and 5? To trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not into thine own understanding. Verse 6 says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. We're going to allow Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua to direct our paths in these times because we're going to know that we need him. You see, we're going to know that we have to depend upon him to make it through these times. We're not going to get on these times or get through them, I should say, leaning unto what we believe or what we think. Because we know that this thing is bigger than us. It's not about us. You see? And a lot of you people out here that thinking it's about you and you're proud and all of that, these miseries that I'm speaking of are mainly coming upon you proud people, man. You see? But I'm going to finish reading. It says, verse 19, Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. You see, so the Lord is sending all of these things for judgments, man, for punishment. You see? And I'm going to actually go down to the point of why I came into this chapter. I'm going to go to verse 37, right? And it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh, and they're not slack. You see, the plagues are going to consistently keep on coming, man. You see, all of these earthquakes that are happening that are deleting large amounts of people. You see all of these different tornadoes and hurricanes and all type of different, catastrophic weather events that are taking place around the world and in America, where you having a lot of people just perishing at one time. Things like that is only going to get worse, man. That's why it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. These things are not going to slack up, which means they're not going to take their time. No, things are just going to be coming consistently, man, rapidly, the way the Lord is going to be issuing out these judgments, man, right? So it says, verse 38, as when a woman with child, right, in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. You see, verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world, right, shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side, man. You see, and these are the times that we are in, man, where sorrows, where dangers, where perils are about to be coming on all sides. You see? And this is verse 40. It says, O my people, right, you Israelites, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And that's the spirit that we're going to be in, and that's the spirit that us hopeful like brothers and sisters are in now, because we don't know when these things are bound to happen. You see, that's why in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 through 17, it tells you to see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, to redeem the time, because the days are evil. You see, and be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. We know what the will of the Lord is, you see, and we know ultimately from everything that is happening in the earth, we know that things can pop off at any given time. So we're always in that mind state of being a pilgrim, which means being quick to move and to get around and, not being at one place for too long. You don't want to be in that spirit in these times, man, because you never know what the Lord might have you doing. He might have you moving around. You might not be able to make it to your house. You see, you might be at work when all hell might break loose. You see, when Jacob's trouble comes, when the martial law troops are fully implemented and things really in this place begins to get locked down, where are you going to go then? You're going to have to put your trust in the Lord to direct and guide you, man. You see, these are the mindset that we should be having in these times and building ourselves up through the spirit for these times, because these things are going to happen. You see, but I'm going to go down because this was the main point of why I came to this chapter. I'm going to start at verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath, right, of a great multitude is kindled over you. And who is that multitude of great wrath, roughly paraphrasing who's going to be coming? That's talking about these militaries, man. These Gurkha troops, these United Nations soldiers, Esau's military, his private militias that he funded, that he got in the cut, just waiting to unleash in these times. These are those people of the great multitude that is going to be over you Jakes, man. You see, because that's why it's called Jacob's trouble, man. Because you Jakes are going to be the main ones that they're going to be targeting and coming after in these times. They're going to be coming after the other nations as well, but they're going to strictly have their focus and target point on you Israelites, man. You see? And that's what's coming. These are the things we're warning you of, right? So it says, verse 68 again, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and shall feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Because soon to come, that's what they're going to try to do, man. They're going to try to make you take that implantable device, which it tells you about in Revelation 13 and 16, which is the RFID chip, the Karaga. That's what this devil's going to be trying to make a lot of us brothers and sisters take. And we know that if you're the Lord's elect, you're not going to take that device. You see, but 2/3 of our people in these heathens, they're going to openly take the C-hip, man, and they're going to be destroyed. You see? But it says, verse 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and to reproach and trodden underfoot. You see? Verse 70, for there shall be in every place, right? Talking about here in Babylon, the great America, all throughout these different cities and states. You see? A great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And when you go into that word insurrection, it means a violent overthrow or a violent uprising. So there is soon to come about to be a very violent uprising against you Israelites, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And who's ultimately going to be the one that's going to be doing that? The so-called white man. That a lot of you Jakes trust in, that you believe is your friend, that you believe can do no wrong. That's going to be the same man that's about to be coming after you, Jake, snatching you out of your houses, snatching you and your kids up, pulling you into these detention centers that they got ICE and FEMA building all around America. A lot of you Jakes soon come are going to be into those places, man. You see? And I'm going to actually go to that precept real quick because this is what's coming, right? This is Revelation chapter 12, right? And I'm going to start at verse 12. You see? And it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe, right, to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, which is the so-called white man, you see, Esau, Edom is not talking about a man that's underground with red horns, poking people and boiling them in a skillet, like you Christian people like to believe. No, the devil, you do have the spiritual demon Shaitan on the left-hand side, but you also got his physical counterpart, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's who this is talking about. You see? It says, for the devil is come down unto you, who he's coming down upon. You Israelites, man, mainly. It says, having great wrath, meaning extreme anger, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And this is what you're about to see happening in America. This devil is about to show his horns towards you Israelites because he knows that his queendom is coming to an end. So he's about to be acting like a madman. He's about to be showing those true devil horns and that true perpetual hatred that he ultimately has for you Jakes, man. You see? And this goes back to the birthright, man. You see, this goes back to Genesis chapter 27 when Esau said when Isaac had blessed our forefather Yaakov, Jacob, and Esau was jealous of Jacob's birthright, and he basically said that the days of mourning for my father Isaac are at hand, and then will I seek to slay my brother Jacob. You see, roughly paraphrasing it. But these are the times that we're in, man, and Esau still has that hate for Jake, man, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You see? And the Lord is ultimately in these times about to allow him to unleash it because, as I said, the Lord is about to bring judgment upon the 2/3 of his people. So he's going to unleash this so-called white man, you see, and allow him to get very brutal in these times that we are in, you know. So I'm going to finish reading it. It said, verse 71, they shall be like madmen. You see, you go into that word madmen, it goes into being like a psycho, being, you see, a mentally deranged person. And that's how Esau about to be acting out here in these times of Jacob's trouble. He ain't about to be having no pity upon you Israelites, man. He's not about to be having pity upon your kids, pity upon your wife that's pregnant. This devil ain't about to care about none of that. You see, this is why in these times your only protection is going to be through the names of Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, and the Lord, and him ultimately aiding you with his holy angels, man. You see, that's going to be your only protection, man. You see, nothing else, you know. So I'm finished reading it. It says, sparing none. You see, he's not going to have any remorse, man. You see, and that's ultimately because that's the spirit of the Lord that's going to be upon this man. You see, but we know that when this devil does come in, the Lord is going to lift up that standard for the elect. You see, it's going to be a bad situation or a scenario that the 2/3 are going to find themselves in. But for the Lord's elect, he's going to lift up that standard when the enemy comes in like a flood. That's Isaiah 59:19. And I'm going to get that next, Abaratazah. All right, but I'm going to finish reading. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, which are you Israelites. You see? Verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Right? Verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried at the gold in the fire. You see? Because like I said, people are going to know in this time who the Lord's remnant are, man. Who the Lord is dealing with, you see? Because like I said, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. The elect are going to be stable, man. You see, the elect man of the nation of Israel is going to be in a level-headed state of mind. You see, he's not going to be bothered and bugging out like the rest of these people out here are going to be doing. You see, these heathens and the 2/3 of our people, they're not going to be stable. They're going to be full of fear. They're going to be in derision. They're going to be in chaos. They're going to be full of anxiety. They're not going to know what to do. You see? But we know, as it tells us in 2 Timothy 1:7, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua have not given us the spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind. That's what the elect are going to have while all of the chaos is happening amongst them. They're going to have a sound mind. You see, the Lord is going to give them that. You see? So it says, verse 74, hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. You see? And this is what a lot of our people don't understand, man. That the days of trouble are here. You see, you can literally see it. The writing is all on the walls, man, that these things are here and that they're about to happen. But like I said, what is our people in the spirit of doing? Playing around, partying, you see twerking, you see TikTok dancing, doing all type of folly, man, things that not going to get them delivered in these times that are coming. That's what they're putting all of their attention into, you see, which is a waste of time, you see, because this devil's, his sword is sharpened, man, right? And I'm going to go to that precept real quick, and we're going to jump back, right? Bear with me. We're going to jump back, you know. This is Ezekiel, right? Chapter 21, and I'm going to start at verse 8. And it says, again, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, came unto me, saying, verse 9, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furthers. And this is what Jake is not seeing. Because like I said, our people is consumed with the cares and the affairs of this life. They're not being circumspect. They're not in the spirit of watching, being observant, being sober-minded. You see, they're full with everything. They're drunk off of the Babylon juice. You see? So they don't see that this devil is sharpening his sword, getting ready to come down upon them, man. They don't see that these things are going to happen. You see? But I'm going to finish reading. Verse 10. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. You see? It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? And like I said, that's the spirit that you have a good majority of our people in. Here it is, this devil's sharpening his sword, and Jake only caring about partying. Jake only caring about who wife he can sleep with. You see, Eve only care about what money she can make and what dude she can get over on. This is what our people is focusing on. Dancing, partying, celebrating, going to the club, being merry-hearted. That's the spirit that they are in, man. Not knowing what's about to ultimately befall upon them, man. You see? Which is going to be a lot of crucial judgment, man. A lot of evils, man. A lot of perils. That's what's about to come upon a good majority of our people, man. Really upon all of us, man. But we just pray and hope, Abarat Desire, we are the Lord's number. He's going to have mercy upon us, Lord's willing. You see? But he's not going to have that mercy upon you Jakes, man, that have been playing around. You see? It says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, right? And he, right, have given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, right? And it is furbished to give it into the hands of the slayer, right? Which is the so-called white man. Verse 12, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You see that sword that the Lord has that he's about to pull out of his sheath? He's about to unleash him upon you Jakes, man. You see? And it says, it shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh, man. You see? And these are the things that are coming. You see? But back in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, right? And I'm going to finish reading verse, I'm going to read 74 again from the top. It says, hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. You see, that's what's powerful in itself, because we know that the Lord is going to be dealing with the elect in this time, man. You see, he's going to be with them. You see, and I'm actually go to that Isaiah 59 through the Spirit. Because like I said, when these things do begin to happen, when this devil does come in full force with everything that he has set up, whether it be his martial law troops, whether it be his AI drones, you see his sleeper cells, his super soldiers, all of the different things that this man ultimately has in his weapons department, because we know that the Lord has blessed this man with the sword. So he's advanced in all type of technology and weaponry, man. That's why the Lord is going to have to lift up that standard for the elect, man, in order for us to be protected in these times. You see? This is Isaiah chapter 59. And I'm going to start at verse 19, you see? It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. Where is the west? That's where we're located here in Babylon. This is the west. You see? It says, and his glory from the rising of the sun. You see? When the enemy shall come in like a flood. You see when this devil comes in heavy? You see? When he starts persecuting the men of the Lord and doing all of the wickedness that the Lord is going to allow him to do, because it ultimately forwards prophecy. These things must be fulfilled. They must happen. You see? Then it says, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them, you see? And what is going to be that standard in these times? You're going to have the Lord bestowing upon men spiritual power. You see, men are going to be able to do all types of things to basically defend themselves and their families, or whatever other brothers and sisters they could possibly be around, away from the wiles of this devil with everything that he's about to come with. The Lord is going to give men those abilities, man. You see? And the Elder Hawad at GMS North Carolina 777, he just did a whole live lesson on this yesterday, man. You see? talking about brothers receiving spiritual power, man. You see? And I ultimately had a dream about that once before as well. It was a time period back. But I actually had a dream where I had fire coming out of my hands. And, we were doing all types of things, man. And we know that these are the things that the Lord is going to give unto his men in these times. Because what did Lord Yahushua say? I'm going to grab that precept through the Spirit. Right? What did Lord Yahushua say? I'm going to grab it. We know that we're going to do these things. Lord's willing, we be those men. You see? The Lord is going to bestow power upon men. You see? Bear with me. Bear with me. Right? Bear with me. This is St. John, chapter 14, right? And I'm going to start straight at the point, verse 12. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father, you see? So Lord Yahushua, he basically was saying that the men of the Lord, which are the men that are here in this time that we're in now with everything that's about to take place, the Lord said that we're going to do greater works than he did. And we know when the Lord was on the scene, the Lord did all type of miracles, man. The Lord turned the water into wine. You see, he fed a multitude of Israelites with just a few loaves of bread and a few fish. It's all type of different accounts where the Lord have, did wonderful and miraculous type miracles when he was on the scene, man. But the Lord said that we're going to do greater things than those, man. And what is that going to be? You're going to have brothers being able to do all type of things that most people in their minds can't fathom, man. Because ultimately, to believe these things that we're speaking of, you got to have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you don't have faith in the Lord, you're not going to believe that there's going to be men out here flying, that there's going to be men out here running like the Flash, man. You see, there's going to be men out here that's going to be able to, pick up tanks and do all types of stuff, man. This is the power that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to bestow upon the elect, man, in these times and seasons that we're in. You see? And I'm going to actually go to that precept. I'm going to go to Isaiah, right, chapter 40. You see? And I'm going to start at verse. But these are the things that the Lord is bringing to his men. You see, because like I said, in these times, we're going to need that standard. You see, we're going to need that spiritual power from the fourth dimension, man. Because Esau is getting ready to come in heavy, man. You see, this devil knows he only has a short time. He's about to come out with all types of different technology and pseudoscience and different things that he ultimately has, prepared. You see, we're going to need the Lord, man. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 40. And I'm going to start at verse, get straight to the point. I'm going to start at verse 29. It said, he giveth power to the faint, right? Which are the weak. You see, the Lord is going to give power to the faint, man. You see? And to them that have no strength, he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. You see? Verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles, man. What is that talking about? That's going into you're going to have men being able to fly, man. And like I said, you got to have faith in the Lord to believe these things, because everybody don't have the faith to think that these things can actually happen. You see? But the elect, they have that faith in them to know that the Lord is going to be with them and he's going to give them these abilities. They know that through faith. You see, Lord's willing, we be those men. Abaratazah, right? But I'm going to finish reading it. It says, they shall run and not be weary. You see, you're going to have men running like the Flash out here soon come in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. You see, you're going to have men with supersonic speed, man. Not being able to get tired. All types of different things. These are the things that the Lord is about to give unto the men, right? It says, and they shall walk and not faint. You see, that's going into spiritual power. You see, that's what the Lord is going to give us in these times, man, because we're going to need it. You see, this is back in 2nd Ezra chapter 16. And I'm going to start at verse 75. It says, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua is your God. You see, the Lord is going to be with his elect in these times, man. You see, they're not going to doubt the Lord, you see, because he's going to come through for them, man. Right? So I'm going to go to Jeremiah. You see? Chapter 30, you see? And I'm going to start at verse 4, because like I said, these are the times that are upon us. These are the things that the Lord is about to manifest and bring to pass, you see? We are in the times of Jacob's trouble, man. You see? But it's only going to get worse, right? Because Jake believed in their minds, you see that Esau was going after the northern kingdom heavy, you see, for the last few months. Jake, or southern kingdom Jake, you see, you so-called African-Americans, so-called Haitians, so-called West Indies, you believe in your mind that the so-called white man is not going to come after you. That's why you got a lot of our people in the spirit of being comfortable. They're at ease in Babylon because they don't think that what they see happening to the northern tribes is going to come upon them. But they're sadly mistaken, man, because once this devil really takes his, he's going to save the southern kingdom for last, man. You see, as they are saying in the world, we're saving the best for last. That's what Esau is doing, man. He's saving you so-called black jakes for last, man. You see? But I'm going to read Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4. Salakia. It said that these are the words that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, right? Judah representing the southern kingdom. Israel representing the northern kingdom, right? All 12 tribes. And this time that we're coming into, like I said, is going to affect all 12 tribes. You see, they're starting off with the northern kingdom, but they're soon about to revolt and focus their attention upon you southern jakes, man. You see, that's what they're about to do. You see? But it says, verse 5, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace, you see, because a lot of people in their mind believe that the Lord is bringing peace to the earth. You see, a lot of these people, they trust in their government and their politicians that tell them that everything is going to get better. You see? But that's all a lie, man, because the Lord is bringing peace, man. What did the Lord say in Luke chapter 12, verse 51? You see, think that I come to send peace on the earth? And he said, I say nay, but rather division, man. You see, which that division goes into people being at odds. You see, chaos, all types of separation, all types of different things, man. That's what the Lord is bringing in these times, man. Right? So it says, verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. You see? And the answer to that is no. We know that ultimately a man cannot conceive and have a child. But this is, symbolically speaking, basically about the amount of fear that these men are going to be in these times, man. You see, it tells you that in 2 Hedges 15 and 18. It said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and men shall be afraid. So all of these so-called tough guys out here that's walking around with their guns on them and all of this different type of stuff that's thinking they're hard, they're going to be like little women in these times that are coming, man. And if we know the men are going to be afraid, how much more the weaker vessel? Which are you women out there, man? You women out there that's claiming you don't need a man and you can do everything by yourself and you independent. Hey, you ain't going to make it in these times that's coming, man. You see, at all, right? Unless you have a man of the Lord. And I'm actually going to that deeper, man. You see, through the spirit. Because we know elect man of the nation of Israel is going to be a refuge in these times that are coming for you women out there, man. You see? And the Lord is going to lead the elect ladies to the elect man. You see? But I'm going to grab this precept real quick through the spirit. I'm going to grab Isaiah chapter 4. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It said, and in that day, what day is this talking about? The day that's fastly approaching, man. The day of judgment. You see, the day of evil. You see, these perils that are about to come upon the earth, man. This is the day that it's talking about. The day where a lot of you women are going to understand your role, man. You see, the day where you're going to understand that you need a man to protect you in these times that are coming. Because you definitely ain't going to get through these times by yourself. You see? It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. You see, and that man is talking about an elect man of the nation of Israel, man. You see, all of the women are going to be flocking to the elect man because in this time, as I've said, the rest of these men, they're going to be full with fear. They're not going to know what to do. They're not going to have the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. These men are just going to be all over the place. They're not going to be firmly rooted and stable. But the elect are, and that's why the women are going to cleave unto them in these times that are coming. You see? And it says, take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You see, they're going to want that stability, man. In these awful times that are coming upon the earth, man, they're going to need that stability, and they're going to find that in the elect man. You see? So I'm actually go to another one, right? Bear with me. This is Isaiah chapter 13. And I'm going to start at verse 12. I will make a man, right? The elect man of the nation of Israel, more precious than fine gold. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, man. You see, that elect man of the nation of Israel is going to stand out in these times, man. You see, everybody's going to know who the Lord's chosen is in these times that we're coming into, man. Right? So it says, and I'm actually go verse 16, right? Because this is ultimately what's going to be to the women that ultimately don't have that hedge from the men of the Lord. You see, that the Lord is not dealing with. You see, it says their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives shall be ravaged. You see, that's going to be a fate of a lot of you Babylonian women, man. You see, a lot of you women out here that's rebellious. You don't want to listen. You don't want to take heed. You don't want to be submissive. You don't want to obey a man. Hey, this day that we're coming into is going to be your worst nightmare. You see, it really is, right? But I'm going to grab this one as well. This is Isaiah chapter 32. And I'm going to start at verse 2. Get straight to the point. And a man, right? An elect man of the nation of Israel. This is not just talking about any man. You see? Because these men ain't going to have the answers when everything pops off and things really begins to, magnify and things get worse out here in this country. These people ain't going to know what's going on. You see? 2/3 of the men of the nation of Israel and these heathens, they're damn sure not going to know what's happening. You see? They're going to be trying to prep and do all of this other different carnal stuff. That's not going to get them through. You see, it says, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind. You see, the destruction, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of waters in the dry place, as the shadows, you see, of a great rock in a weary land. You see, so like I said, in these times, the elect men are going to be precious, man, because while they're ultimately stable, you see, everybody else, you see, outside of that, they're going to be all over the place, man. You see, not knowing what to do, not having the answers to anything, and that's because the Spirit of the Lord is not going to be with the 2/3 of our people. It's only going to be with the elect. That's why, as I just read in 2 Hedges 16, then shall they be known who are my chosen, man. You see? But this is back at Jeremiah chapter 30, and I'm going to read verse 6 again from the top. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail? And all faces are turned into poundage. You see, that's going to be for these tough guys out here, man. You YNs, all of you other different jakes that think you tough, you full of pride. Hey, you people going to be like women in this day that's coming, man. The Lord is going to bring that fear upon you, man. You see, because this is the fear that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is bringing. And if you're not in the elect, you're not going to be able to stand it. Because only the Lord is going to have that mercy on the elect. You see, it tells you, I'm going to go to that precept too. All right, bear with me. It says, I'm going to finish reading it. It says, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness, you see, going into ultimately the fear that's going to overcome these men, right? But I'm going to grab this precept as well. This is St. Luke, chapter 21, and I'm going to start at verse 26, getting straight to the point. It says that men's hearts, right, meaning their minds, but men's literal hearts, man. This is what's going to happen out here soon come in the streets of America, Babylon the Great. You're going to have a lot of these men. They're going to be having heart attacks. You see, all type of different things are going to come upon these people because fear is going to overtake them, man. Because the Lord is about to bring fear, man. You see, like I said, it's going to be a time like no other. The Lord is going to be unleashing apparitions, spirits created for vengeance, man. There's going to be all types of things that's going to be unleashing in these times, man. And if you don't got the Lord with you, you're cooked. You see, you're just through. No better way to say it. But it says men's hearts, right? Failing them for fear, and this is what's going to happen in that day that's coming, right? This is why they're going to ultimately be holding on to their stomach as a woman in travail, right? Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. You see? So like I said, the Lord is about to bring a lot of terror, man. You see? And we ultimately want to, make it through these terrible times. You see, we want to pray and hope that we're on the Lord's good side, that we're not on the side of that judgment that we know he's going to bring upon the 2/3 of his people. Because like I said, we don't know if we're the Lord's elect at the end of the day. You see, Matthew 22:14 tells us how many are called, but few are chosen. We know that we've been called into this truth. We know that the Lord have given us the eyesight to understand these prophecies, to know the time and seasons that we're ultimately in. But we don't know if we're going to be delivered. You see, we don't know if we're ultimately going to be saved. You see, so this is why we ultimately pray and hope the Lord has mercy upon us, man. Because, hey, we're going to be in the midst of these times as well. You see, for us hopeful elect brothers and sisters, man. You see, we're not exempt from going through Jacob's trouble. We're going to have to go through it too. What does it say in Matthew 24:13? But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved, man. So we want to endure unto the end, whatever comes our way, Lord's willing, right? So I'm going to finish reading Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. And this is the day that's approaching, man, right? That's really already here. But like I said, things are going to continue to amplify and to build up over time. But this time is already here, man. We're already in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, man. And if you don't see it, then you just don't see it. But it's already here, right? Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. You see, because this is going to be a time like no other, right? And I'm going to grab that Daniel chapter 12 to go with this. You see, that's why the Archangel Michael is going to have to stand up, you see, to protect the elect. Because there's just going to be so much chaos happening out here, man. You see, America is going to be looking like a third world country very soon, man. You see, it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. You see, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble. You see, that's not talking about Moab's trouble, not Ham's trouble, not Elam's trouble, not Esau's trouble. Even though the other nations, they're going to get caught in it as well. They're going to be getting judged also by the Lord. But mainly this is coming upon you 2/3 of the nation of Israel. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble. You see? But he shall be saved out of it, right? Who's going to be saved? The elect. You see? So bear with me. I'm going to go to Daniel chapter 12 just to go with that precept. And I'm going to just read verse 1, right? It says, and at that time shall Michael, right, stand up. The great prince will stand up for the children of thy people. You see? And the Lord is only giving the command to Michael to stand up for the elect. He's not going to be standing up for the 2/3 of Israel. He's not going to be protecting you YNs and you Keishas and all of you demons out here, man, amongst our people. No, Michael is only standing up to protect and guard the elect of the nation of Israel, man. The 1/3 remnant. You see, that's who he's going to stand up to protect, right? So it says, and there shall be a time of trouble, right? Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. Even to that same time, you see, this time that we're coming into is going to be worse than anything known to man. You see, worse than 70 AD, worse than the transatlantic slave trade, worse than World War I and World War II combined. You see, worse than the days of Noah during the flood, which was the first death. You see, worse than Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring 5 cities that were burned, man. This time that we're coming into is going to be worse than all of that combined, man. You see, this is why you're going to need the Lord, man. You see, no way you're going to escape out of this thing on your own will or with your own doing or your own might. No, man. That's why only way you're going to make it through this is through Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You see? It says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book of life. You see? Or be found written in the book, which is the Lamb's book of life, which are the elect, those that were predestined from the beginning, the first fruits. Those that are ultimately going to receive the salvation that is going to be delivered via the chariots when our Lord makes his second return. You see? That's who this is for, man. That's who's going to make it through these perilous times. That's who's going to ultimately see the salvation. You see, they're going to be the ones that's going to make it on the first go around, you see? But the 2/3 of our people, you know, they're ultimately going to perish over here in America, man. When all of these judgments begin to get brought forth, you 2/3 that didn't want to hear the messages of the Lord, you scoffed, you came up against this word, you laughed, you mocked the men of the Lord, and you people going to suffer in these times, man. You see? And I'm going to go to that real quick through the Spirit as well. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass, right? This is talking about a future prophecy. This hasn't happened yet. This is going to take place in America, man. Babylon the Great. You see? That in all the land, right? Saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. Right? And that's talking about you Jakes that ultimately don't want to get right with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You that hate the ways of your power, man. You're going to get caught up in all of these evils that I mentioned earlier that are going to come, that the Lord is going to bring to plague this place, America. A lot of you Jakes are going to fall right dead slap in the midst of it, man. You see? And it says, But the third, you see, shall be left therein, right? The 1/3, the elect, verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire. You see, the Lord is going to bring them through everything in which it is that's ultimately going to face them and that they're going to have to go through and endure. The Lord is going to bring the elect through the hour of temptation. When the devil makes it mandatory, you have to take an implantable device in order to operate in his society. You see, he's going to bring them through the time of Jacob's trouble. You see, the Lord is going to bring them through the literal fire, which is going to be when America meets his judgment by ICBM nuclear missiles and the laser beams of the chariots. The Lord is going to bring the elect through all of these things. He's going to bring them through the famine. He's going to bring them through the teeth of wild beasts. You see, everything that he's going to unleash upon his world, man, he's going to have mercy upon his remnant. You see? And I'm going to read verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them, you see, as silver is refined, and will try them, right? Because we're all being tried. This is a test, man. And we ultimately want to pass this test, especially that biggest test, which is going to be that RFID hip, which it tells you about in Revelation 13 to 16. And I'm going to get into that, Lord's willing, talking about that charagma, man, because that's going to be the greatest test that is coming, you see? And we ultimately want to pass that test. You see, we definitely want to pass that one, right? But I'm going to finish reading. It says, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, right? Telling you the importance of those names in the Lashawan Kadash, man. You see, what does it say in Sirach chapter 17, verse 10, also known as Ecclesiasticus? It says that the elect shall praise his holy name, man. The elect are going to praise the holy names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, man. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Yahweh Wa Yahushua. The elect are going to praise those names, man. They're going to be exalting those names in this time of tribulation and everything that's to come, man. You see? And the Lord is going to be with them, right? So I'm finished reading. It says, and I will hear them, right? Proverbs 18 to 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, man. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. You see? It says, and I will hear them, and I will say it is my people, and they shall say the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, is my power, man. You see? So like I was saying, you know, the Lord is going to bring his elect through all of these, you know, diresome situations that are about to befall upon the earth. These perils, man. These tragic times that are upon us, you see? And ultimately that main test, as I was going into, that the Lord is going to bring his elect through, is the hour of temptation, man, right? And I'm going to grab that through the Spirit, because this time is coming, man. You see? You keep having people who the Lord is putting the Spirit on to have dreams and visions. They're ultimately dreaming about the MOTBC hip coming into fruition. That's no coincidence that the Lord is doing these things, man. You see, the Lord said in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28, and also Acts chapter 2, verse 17, because they're the same scriptures. You see, the Apostle Peter was going off of basically what he heard the prophet Joel say, and he was paraphrasing it, you see. But basically, the Lord will pour his Spirit upon all flesh, man. And your sons and daughters shall dream dreams and have visions, you see, roughly paraphrasing it. But that's why you keep seeing people have these dreams about the MOTBC hip coming, man. You see, and that's no coincidence. The Lord is pouring out his Spirit because these are the times and seasons that we are in. These are the things that are about to come to pass, man. These are the prophecies that are next up to come. You see? So that's why it's pouring on everybody's spirit. And we see that everything that these devils are setting in place is ultimately to bring in that RFID hip, man. And I'm actually go to an article that I got, you see, through the Spirit. Because we are close to that MOTBC hip coming to pass, man. That's why you see World War III over there beginning to take off, which World War III has already started as well. But we know it's not going to reach its intensity point to where those nukes are going to be shot off until the chip comes, man. So we're really waiting on the RFID hip, man, which is coming quickly, right? All right, this is the article that I have. And it's from the sociableceo.com, you see. And it says, I'm going to read it. It says Gates, right? We know who that is. Kill snakes, you see. Kill Bates, right? The devil himself, right? It says Gates funded World Bank project seeks to connect with digital ID with fast payment systems, you see. And as it tells us in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, man. That devices goes into his schemes, his tricks, his plots, you know, his tactics, his manipulation tactics, everything that he uses ultimately to get the upper hand over us. We're not ignorant of those things, you see? And this is gradualism, man, what you see these devils doing. You see, and I'm gonna look up that word gradualism as well for edification, right? Because this is what they're doing. They're gradually getting people to accept the MOTBC hip by all of these different payment methods that they're doing and things like that. Because back in the early 2000s, late 90s, you had credit cards around, but a good majority of the people in America were using cash. Now, over the period of time, now most people, they don't even have cash. They just have a credit card. And now it's to the point people don't even have a credit card. They just scan their phones or just scan whatever thing they got in their hand. But soon to come, all of that is gradually moving towards the chip, because soon to come, in order for you to buy and sell, you're going to have to scan your hand or your forehead. You see, these are the prophecies and these are what is coming, right? So bear with me. I'm going to look at the word gradualism, right? Because this is what they're doing, man. They're gradually, you see, putting these things or forcing it on the people. They're doing it in minute baby steps. They're not just going to openly, throw it on you. No, they got to do it in baby steps. This man is the devil. You see, he's subtle, like a serpent. So he's going to take his time in doing what he's doing. You see? Ultimately, till he traps you and snares you and bites you. You see? That's why it tells you in Psalms 55 and 21 as well, that the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. You see? And it also says the words of his mouth were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see? Roughly paraphrasing. All right? This is the meaning of the word gradualism on the AI overview on Google. And it says the belief in or the policy of advancing towards a goal, right? This is the goals of these elites, man. Ultimately, this is the goal of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because the Lord put the spirit on these devils to come up with the idea to bring forth this device, because it all goes according to prophecy. So ultimately, this is all the will of the Lord that's being done, you see? But still, he's using Esau on the left hand. So it says the belief in or the policy of advancing towards a goal, and then the minds of these elites, this is their goal that they want to accomplish. You see, they want to have full control over the people, man. They want to have everybody digitally slaved and suppressed, man, under them, man. Because ultimately we know that these devils want to be like the Heavenly Father, man. Esau has a God complex, man. And that's what he feels he's going to accomplish by putting his C-hip in everybody. He's going to be like the Most High. You see? But it says, towards a goal by gradual, often slow stages, you see? And like I said, that's what they're doing. They're slowly implementing it upon people, but it's also moving all to the C-hip. You see? That's what it's going in the direction of. You see, that's what everything is alluding to, the RFID C-hip. But they're ultimately doing it in baby steps. You see, just like they just came out with that real ID thing. You know, and the elder out there in California did a live lesson talking on that. How you basically had a woman, she was going into the real ID thing, and she was basically saying that, you know, they was telling her that she couldn't go to different states, she couldn't leave the country. It's a lot of different things they were telling her she couldn't do if she didn't receive that new ID. So like I said, all of this stuff is gradually moving the people and pushing them to accepting the MOTB when it ultimately comes upon the scene. You see? That's what this devil is doing. Right? But I'm going to finish reading this article that I have, read just a little bit more of it. You see? Bear with me. All right, and I'm going to go down. And it says, the public-private financial revolution requires every person, right? Don't forget what RFK Jr. just said maybe about 2 months ago, right? When he was at that meeting with Trump and all of them other devils. They were basically talking about within the next 4 years or within the next coming years that all of the people in America are going to have a wearable. And we know what all of these things are code words for, man. It's all for the chip, man. That's what they're talking about. You see, but they like to speak in codes and all of that, thinking that people are too ignorant that they're not going to pick up on it. And a lot of these people, they are ignorant. You see, they don't have no idea what time of season they're in. They don't know that the system, as they know it, this cash paper dollar is about to be removed, and that you're going to only be able to buy and sell in the very near future through a implantable device. You see, they don't think that this is ever going to come, but it is. You see, it is going to come. Right? It says the public-private financial revolution requires every person, right, to have a digital identity. You see, this is what these devils are doing, man. Right? It says so they can be tracked. Right? They want to have full control of you, man. Why would you want to track and know where people are doing and what time they're doing it? You see, because like I said, that goes back into this man wanting to have full control, man. This man want to own you, man. Right? This is the mind, and mainly he want to own us Israelites, man. The people of the Lord. This is who he really want to chip. You Israelites, man. He wants to have control over you. You see? How more to try to be like the Most High than chipping all of the Most High's people, which is the mindset that this devil has, which he's going to fail, because the only people that's going to take that chip is those that are not of the Lord's elect, man. You see, the elect of the nation of Israel, the 1/3, they're not going to bow down to Baal, man. You see? They're not going to take that device, right? But the 2/3 of our people in these heathens, they're going to take it, and they're going to be destroyed, right? So it says so they can be tracked, traced, and connected to a programmable digital currency, man. You see? So once you take that implantable device, you're basically hooked up to the grid. You see? They're going to know what you're doing. That's how they're going to be able to know what you're buying and selling, man. Everything is going towards this system, man. These devils want to have complete control. That's part of their New World Order agenda. You see? This is what they want to ultimately obtain. You see? And I'm actually going to go to the precept through the Spirit. We're going to go and get it. Right? Because this is what's coming. Right? This is Revelations chapter 13. And I'm going to start at verse 16. And it says, and he, who is that he? Talking about the elite banking families, man. The Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Rockefellers. You see all of these devils, man, these elites at the top. You see that the Lord is using on the left hand to bring in this device, because they're the ones that ultimately want the power and the control. You see? It says, and he, right, calls it all, because this is going to come upon the whole world, man. You see, it's not just going to be here in America. It's not just going to be in China. It's not just going to be in the European countries. No, it's coming everywhere, man. Right? That's why it's the hour of temptation, because a lot of people, they're going to be tempted to take it. You see? And it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, right? Rich and poor, free and bond. So it doesn't matter your social status. It doesn't matter if you got money or somebody or any of that stuff that these people are full of. Now here in America, they're proud. They think just because they got money that they're better than the next person. But in this society that's coming, everybody's going to be on the same playing field. Everybody's going to be equal. Everybody going to have a digital code or whatever it is. You see, Lord's willing, we not taking it at all. You see? But for those people that do receive it, which are the 2/3 and the heathens, guess what? Hey, they're, they're going to take the device, right? But it says to receive a mark in their right hand and their foreheads, right? That word mark in the Greek goes into charagma, man. When you go into that word charagma, that's talking about the RFID chip itself. Then when you go into the word charax, which goes into the needle, which is going to be the delivering system that they're going to use to ultimately insert the implantable device under your skin, man. You see, either in your right hand or in your left hand, because when it says right hand, when you go into it, it's really just talking about your power hand, because you got people that are left-handed going to receive it in their left. You got people that are right-handed going to receive it in their right. You see? And you got people with neurological disorders, like with what you see happening with Elon Musk with all of the Neuralink brain chip and him going around the world chipping people up. That's all going to be the technology that is going to come towards, that they're going to use to bring in this chip, man, in this system, right? But it says, verse 17, and that no man or woman might buy or sell save he or she that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, you see? And that's what's really going to make a lot of people take it, you see? A lot of people are going to take it. Even a lot of people that's claiming they're not going to take it are going to take it. Because if you're not in the Lord's elect, man, you're going to take this device, you see? And that's why this thing that we're involved in, brothers and sisters, is deadly serious, because we want the Lord to have mercy upon us and our families. You see, we want to make it through this hour, man. You see, we want to overcome this hour of great tempting that we know is going to come, man. You see? And all we got to do is, Lord's will, pray the Lord continues to keep the spirit on us to continue to endure in the fight, man. You know? But I'm actually go to that precept, because we know that the Lord, he's going to be with the elect, man. You see? They're not going to take that device. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, which goes into suffering, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. You see? And that's what we ultimately want the Lord to do for us, man. We want him to deliver us through these times that we know are coming, man. Through the hour of temptation, through Jacob's trouble, through the literal fire, which is going to be the ICBM destruction. Because that's what's going to be the fate of those that take the device, man. If you take that RFID chip, the Lord is going to destroy you, man. There is no way out of it, man. If you take that chip, you're going to die. You see, you're going to be melted over here in America. You see, and that's why we don't want to take it, because we know the judgment that's going to come for those that receive it, man. You see, and it's not going to be pretty, right? And I'm actually go to it, right? Revelation chapter 14, I'm going to start at verse 9. And it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man or woman worship the beast and his image and receive his charagma and his forehead on his hand, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, which is the righteous anger of the Lord. You see? Which he's going to pour out via those ICBM nuclear missiles. Because when you go into Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 25, it tells you that those are the weapons of the Lord indignation. And he's going to use those weapons to ultimately to judge America, man. And those people that take the device, they're going to be in that lake of fire, man, which is the second death. That's going to be Babylon the Great after the missiles and the chariots annihilate this place, man. You see? But it says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is our Lord Yahushua, who's going to be in that fathership. Because we know ultimately before America meets his fate, the Lord is going to beam up the elect via the chariots. You see what the world English calls UFOs. That's how the Lord is going to deliver his elect, man. You see, ultimately before those missiles impact and destroy America. That's why in 1 Peter 4 and 18, it tells you how the righteous shall scarcely be saved, man. You see? Because it's going to be that quick. Like the Lord is going to beam us up in the twinkling of an eye, as the Apostle Paul has said, you see? And Lord's willing, we be at that number. We're going to be putting on our new bodies. You see, that immortal body that no longer can get sick, that no longer can be affected. You see, that can no longer deal with ailments and all of the things we go through in these wicked bodies that we're in. You see? That's what the Lord is going to give to the elect, man, those that don't take the device. You see? And that's what we do this thing for, you see? Lord's will that we receive salvation and we be delivered, man, from these things that are coming, you know? So, you know, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's lesson. I've been right to Zod. Pray it be edifying to you, brothers and sisters that come across it. So with that being said, we're going to end the lesson like we always do by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstones that rule well, teach well, while learning the truth 100% according to the Bible. And also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 you Akim out there teaching his word on the highways and hedges throughout the four winds of the earth in truth and sincerity. And to you Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere, that are doing as the scriptures have told you to do, which is to learn in silent, you see, and listen to the men, you see, and your children. Kwam Yasharala, shalom to the elect. Shalom.